Hello and welcome to Supplier Soundbytes, S&P Global Mobility's concise Autology podcast series, where we bring in supplier experts to unpack what's really changing in automotive and why it matters. One topic, one clear takeaway in under 5 minutes. Today, we're delighted to be joined by Ahmad Ghahreman, CEO and founder of Cyclic Materials. His company specializes in advanced recycling to recover rare earth elements and other critical materials from end-of-life products, contributing to a circular supply chain essential for the clean energy transition. Hi, Ahmad. Thanks very much for joining us.
Great to be here. Thank you.
You're most welcome. For years, rare earths were treated as a minor sustainability footnote in the electric vehicle story. Today, they're being framed as a national security issue. It's a major shift, and it has real implications for how car makers choose technologies and how they pursue recycling and circularity. With that in mind, Ahmad, I want to dig into how this change is influencing decision making across the automotive industry. When rare earths are seen not just as a sustainability challenge, but as a strategic risk, how should car makers rethink technology choices, recycling strategies, and the role of circular supply chains, would you say?
Absolutely. So, sustainability and the path of sustainability actually depends on critical metals, more specifically rare earth elements. Rare earth elements are the backbone of our decarbonization and going towards sustainability goals in our society. But at the same time, majority of these critical metals, especially rare earth elements, are sourced from one country, and that puts a lot of strain and pressure on the supply chain itself. Now, here is the role of recycling and circularity. When you look into circularity, you recycle the products that are available local in a local jurisdiction and deliver them to local companies for using them again in their products. And that actually creates the most robust and most secure supply chain for those critical metals. And I think all the car manufacturers, OEMs, and in general manufacturers require that security of supply chain so they can focus on sustainability for future.
That's great. Thanks very much. Very interesting summary. And looking ahead, as electric volumes ramp up and motor technologies evolve, where do you see the real bottleneck emerging for rare earth materials? Is it, for example, mining, processing, or end of life recovery, or all of the above, or extra things?
So rare earth elements happen to be really all the above, suffering from all three categories. On the mining side, majority of mining for rare earth elements today is happening in China, but deposits outside China are often either small or very deep underground or in very remote areas. So that makes a lot of the deposits outside China, in Canada, in US, and other jurisdictions economically or environmentally not viable. So focusing on mining is the right thing. Processing, over 90% of midstream processing for rare earth elements manufacturing and production happens in China as well. That is another bottleneck that we need to unlock in North America and in Europe and other jurisdictions. So really focusing on processing as Cyclic Materials, and we do work on that as well, is incredibly important. Coming back to end-of-life recovery, I think this is one of the most critical pieces of the puzzle. Recycling and circularity action overall could be really fast and rapid in getting to production. It is, again, as I mentioned above, locally recycles products and puts back into the market again. But one very fine difference here is that not all rare earth elements are equal. Some of them are called light rare earth elements, and the other ones are called heavy rare earth elements. Heavy rare earth elements are the ones that we need for high performance, high quality magnets, and more than 99% of those heavy rare earth elements are mined in China. But those are put into products, shipped to North America, Europe. Over the past 20 years, we have become the largest overground deposit of those heavy rare earth elements in products. So recycling immediately gives us access to those heavy rare earth elements that otherwise are way underrepresented in geology of Western mining projects or mining operations.
Thanks very much. Some very interesting facts and figures there. Thank you. Before we go, most vehicles on the road today weren't actually designed with rare earth recovery in mind. What needs to change upstream, whether that's vehicle design, standards, or regulation, to make circularity viable at scale, would you say?
Oh, to start the company, Cyclic Materials, we actually, on the early days, spent a lot of time on this question. What is the right thing to do here? Because it is almost next to impossible to go to every single manufacturer around the world and ask them to change their design of products in a way that I, as a recycling company, can recycle those properly and easily. This almost not going to work. So we said, okay, if that's not the option, then the other alternative or the other realistic option is that we come up with a technology that this technology can be feedstock agnostic and bring in anything and everything that is manufactured with copper, aluminum, steel, and magnet and plastics and recycle that and recover every single one of those metals and products. And this is what we delivered at Cyclic Materials. I truly believe changing design for every single product with all the companies out there is not going to happen ever. And we really should focus on having technologies that are feedstock agnostic in processing those materials.
Thank you very much, Ahmad. That's really very interesting, actually. And that's all we have time for this episode of Autology's Soundbites. We appreciate you taking the time to join us. If you found it useful, please do follow us on LinkedIn for more insights from across the supplier ecosystem, and be sure to watch out for new episodes coming soon. Bye for now.